Welcome to beautiful New York City. There in the distance, we see One World Trade Center. Gorgeous views at night. This is one of my favorite views in the city at night. I absolutely love 7th Avenue here at the Greenwich Village and the border West Village. I love these views. The World Trade Center is perfectly framed right in the middle. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm Ariel. This is Urbanist. We're going to take a gentle stroll tonight from this area, West Village, further up. Let me know where you're watching from, and let's continue on our way. So, pro tip, actually on this Five Guys, if you go all the way to the back entrance, there's a doorway that says employees only. But if you go through that doorway, you'll end up at a beautiful speakeasy right up there. Rich tuning in from Detroit. Nice to see you here. Summers girl, welcome. Happy Columbus Day. Yeah, happy Columbus Day to you too. Columbus Day now also has a name here. Happy Indigenous Day as well. So happy both. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, Kinyeret. Welcome. Afik says, do you use a gimbal? Yes, DJI Osmo Mobile 5 I'm using today. Sometimes I use the 4, especially if I have a microphone. I might soon upgrade to the number 6. Hey, Jermaine, viewing from Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Vicky, what neighborhood are we in? We're actually in the border, 2 neighborhoods. Right here is Greenwich Village, and this is West Village. Usually the border between the 2 sides of the village is 7th Avenue here. So Greenwich Village, right over there, we see Bleecker Street Pizza. Bleecker Street actually runs here all throughout the West and Greenwich Village, and this is the West Village right over here. And then now up there is Midtown, the neighborhood of Flatiron and Chelsea. Roxanne says, favorite place to eat in Greenwich Village? I have a few different places. Let me mute. I have a few different places I enjoy. There is a great taqueria right here for quick food called the Little Taco Shop. And there's also a few restaurants. Via Carota actually was really impressed by. Lorraine says, used to be in Jersey, but now live in Ohio. Welcome. I love this neon sign. This is one of the older neon signs here in New York City. Dates back to, I think, the 1920s, late 1920s, right here. Neon signs, some of them are so old, they're very rare. Susie says, one nice surprise. Hey, Susie, nice to see you here. Aza from Florida. Wish I was there with you. Ooh, I hear some jazz. What's happening here? Got some jazz. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's so cool. So beautiful Author's Tavern right here. Here's one of the new favorite restaurants. Oh, look at this place. Number 55 Grove. Haven't heard of this. Little Owl. Wow. Lovely Monday evening. Yeah, it is. Yeah. This restaurant here, Via Carota. I actually have a short video on this that I did a few months ago. And I recently found out that Timothy Chalamet has been spotted here eating cacio e pepe. Mark P says, have you ever been to Small's Jazz Club? I've never been inside. I'm very tempted to go. Never been inside. But I can't wait to go. I like how they do live streams. Susie says, be careful, it's crime infested. Oh yes, we all know that New York is a den of vice, of crime and anarchy. Yes, obviously. I think Susie's being sarcastic, referring to, unfortunately, the media perception of New York. I have no idea where this perception is coming from. It is unfortunately the case, yes, there are crimes that happen in New York City. And yes, there has been a small uptick in crimes. And my heart goes out to anyone who suffered a direct tragedy. But it is unfortunately the case that cities all around the world, since there are such massive areas of people living together, that crime does happen and it will happen. But in general, when you're walking around, I don't feel unsafe.
So then why they trying to get like, oh, you just smoking weed in the living room?
Morgan says, I was on the other channel. Hey, Morgan, what other channel were you in? Hey, Isa says, I love the video you did of the square art piece. We walk over it every time. Morgan says, the announcement. What announcement are you referring to, Morgan? Barb says, Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Yes. Would you expect more cars driving around? Says Jeebus. We're in a residential area, so you're not going to see too much hubbub of traffic. But once we get to the avenues, you're already starting to see more traffic. We're going back on 7. Hey, Millie, nice to see you here. Millie loves New York. I'm so glad you do, Millie. That's awesome to hear. How often do you see rats, says Brad? Not often. I have the good graces to live in a place where there are no rats. That is definitely a blessing. But beyond that, just in the streets, randomly walking around. Very rare. Later at night, it's a bit more prevalent. But maybe I see one a week. Some places you can see a few more if you go, especially late at night. Michael, nice to see you here. Welcome. Hello, Diana. From the Philippines. ¿Cómo está acá? Nice to see you here. Susie says, I see trash as a problem. Hopefully that gets resolved. Yeah, me too. Anxious for the new Urbanist merch, says Barb. I'm glad you are, Barb. Yeah, that's coming up soon. Say hello to my building, please, says Isa. What's your building, Isa? Hey, Veronique. Hello, Miss Lob. Hello, Wendy. Does anyone know how I can super chat with cryptocurrency? You can't super chat with cryptocurrency, unfortunately, but I do have a PayPal, and I think my PayPal accepts Bitcoin. I'm not sure if it accepts other cryptocurrency, but paypal.me/Ariel Vieira. Feel free to send me crypto if it's possible. Happy to accept that, but no, unfortunately, so super chats do not accept that. Isa says, Empire State Building saw the green. Other than that, New York City is the greatest city in the world, says Susie. Unfortunately, New York City, one thing that has struck me the most coming back to New York in terms of architecture, does anyone know what it is? Because it is striking. So right here we have Smalls Jazz Club. There's a line. I'm surprised there's lines now for Smalls Jazz Clubs. This jazz has gotten recently very popular. Look how narrow this shop is. Oh my God. That is a narrow store. 183. What street is this? 10th Street, West 10th Street. Luis dice, ¿qué ciudad es? Este es la ciudad de Nueva York. New York City. It's the city we're in right now. I love that cocktail name, Among the Clouds. Vodka, lychee, lemon, elderflower, and champagne. Isa says lots of places in New York look like Europe. They do, but New York still has a difference compared to Europe. I think it makes New York a very interesting place to be. So right now we are not surrounded by scaffolding, but as you're walking around the city, you'll know more and more. Certain areas have more than others. And I've noticed that places with scaffolding have had scaffolding for years, sometimes decades. And I'm shocked that they don't take it down. I got like desensitized to it before extensively traveling around this past year. Because I don't know, I just didn't notice it until coming back to New York right now. It's like this scaffolding I never seen this building bare. And it's such a shame that we cover a lot of our buildings with scaffolding. Luckily 7th Avenue is not too bad because most of the buildings here are fairly new, but as we go more inside New York, you'll see scaffolding in a lot of places. Mr. Ramos says, what parts of New York City is dangerous? I would avoid the Upper East Side, especially during the daytime on a weekday. You'll see these older ladies carrying around these vicious little dogs. I would be very, very careful. They tend to be dressed in Chanel from head to toe, and it's just very scary. Just be careful if you hang out on the Upper East Side. Janice says a 23-year-old scaffolding is coming down. Yes. Shirog! Oh, with 100. Let me know what that currency is again. I know you sent super chats before, so thank you so much. But Shirog says, hello, here's to walking cities late in the evening, something beautiful about it. Oh yes, I love New York City late in the evening. So I've come down with a cold and have been homebound the past few days. Luckily, I'm okay. I just needed some rest. But, you know, after being home for a long time, I end up realizing whenever you come down with a cold, if you can, it is nice to go out for a walk if the weather is cooperating. Luckily, it's not rainy and nor is it cold. So it is nice to go for a walk when you're feeling a little bit under the weather. Mr. Ramos says, LOL, Ariel, you're the best. Yes. All right, now for a full tour of the pleasure chest. We can learn all about tools for back massage. Right, okay. Back massage. Body lotion. Yes, body lotion. Okay. All right. Oh, here's another calf massager. Yeah, it kind of looks like something to massage your calves. Right. It's a great store. And you know, here if you are wanting to dress for the evening, yes. Yeah, great place to visit. Pleasure chest. I mean, those are back massagers, right? Don't tell me that I was been lied to my entire life. Don't shatter the illusion. Danette and Anthony says, hey, Danette and Anthony, nice to see you here. I really do love what Danette and Anthony are doing on their live streams. Everyone, check out Danette and Anthony. And Danette and Anthony make an excellent point. Sometimes your calf is just sore. Yep. And sometimes your calf is just sore. You just need a little bit of body lotion and a calf massager. That's all you need. And here we have a movie that's being shot. Oh, earlier in the morning today. Tool of North America. That seems like a fake name. Probably a Marvel film. Code name Tool of North America. That's funny. It's a film shoot. Oh, and of course, Law and Order SVU would not be New York City if there wasn't a Law and Order episode being filmed. And here we have MMMM5. Oh, I wonder what secret project is MMMM5. Almo says, visiting that store with your grandparents. Yes, it's a great experience. Oh, we have Morgan. Morgan celebrating 14 months of being a super urbanist. Thank you so much, Morgan. I just posted the very last special video of Europe for super urbanists. If you want to get access to 360 VR tours of the French Alps, I show the train ride along the backside of Mont Blanc. I show the Guy du Midi, 12,700 feet high in a crystal clear day where we see 3 countries and 1 360 VR video. And we also show places like the Museum of Oceanography in Monaco and many other places. Patreon.com/urbanist. Only available to super urbanists and above. Why did those films chose that location for Marianne? That's a great question, Marianne. Marianne, thank you so much for being a mega urbanist. Many reasons. One reason is some locations are a lot easier to film in. 7th Avenue and nearby Greenwich Village is very friendly to filming. 7th Avenue is very wide, open streets. The Greenwich Village is pretty quiet. Or West Village, I mean. West Village is pretty quiet, so it's very easy to film. Second reason is movies generally are looking for this look when it comes to many of their films. This is very easily recognizable as New York. You have Midtown Manhattan, and then you have the Village. 2 areas of New York that are very easily recognizable. This can fill in for any of the villages. It can also fill in for Brooklyn. And that's why a lot of films are made here. That's the 2 main reasons. And then the third reason is tax incentives. There's actually incentives to film in New York City if the movie takes place in New York City. So sometimes a company is compelled to take up those tax incentives rather than filming a New York City scene in Pittsburgh or Atlanta or Toronto. They film it here because New York wants that money. Remy says, stay safe in the subways, especially at this time at night. You'll be okay in subways at this time at night. Unfortunately, yes, as I mentioned, there has been an uptick in crime. It is very unfortunate. But I think generally you'll still feel safe here in New York City at this time at night. Especially in this part of Manhattan. You'll be okay. Keep your wits about you, though. DS says they save thousands of dollars with those incentives. Yes, if not more. Sometimes it's more than that. But yeah, DS, that's right. That's all fascinating and amazing content, but this is not live, says Almo. Almo, are you referring to this live video? Yes, Almo, this is live. You loved Europe, says Kathy. I did indeed. You should go to the Christmas markets in Europe, says Peace Scarf. I think I should.
That's why we're walking.
Why did, oh, I already answered that. Hello, Joe. Joe, nice to see you here. Welcome. Danan Anthony says, thank you so much for saying that. My pleasure, Danan Anthony. Jules says, what time is it right now? 7 something p.m. Wendy says, you recovered quickly. No, I'm still under the weather, but I couldn't stay home anymore. Had to leave, had to break out from the confines of my bedroom. Colleen, hello. 7:27, thank you so much, Matt. 7:27 p.m. Let me know what day in October is it today. You felt the crisis in Europe because of the war, says Hatem? Nope, Hatem. The only thing that I could sense from the war that's happening in Russia and Ukraine is the euro was on parity with the dollar. It's the only thing I can really sense from that conflict. Otherwise, just Europe felt normal to me. Same thing here in New York, even more so in New York. October 10th, thank you so much, October 10th. Wendy says, break out of your bedroom. Yes, I had to break out of my bedroom. I've been resting for like 4 days. I couldn't handle it anymore. I had to come out. I had to come out finally out of my bedroom. Catherine says, when did you get back? A long 3 weeks ago. Long 3 weeks back in New York City. I don't know how I can last this long without my dear Europe. Are there any colleges in the neighborhood? Yes, Jamie Lynn. Great question. So right now we're still in the West Village. We're soon going to approach the neighborhood of Flatiron. But right down this way towards Greenwich Village is New York University. That's the main campus in Greenwich Village. There's a few others. There's Parsons School of Design right down this way. 6th Avenue and 5th, actually 5th Avenue and about 14th Street is Parsons School of Design. I think those are the two main campuses. I don't think there's another university here. And then over here in the West Village, I don't think there's any universities in the West Village, or at least big ones, as far as I know. Hey, Sunshine says, yeah, you're an FB. Yes, I am. Someone asks about Greenwich Avenue. This is it. Yes, this is Greenwich Avenue right here. Greenwich Avenue is also known as Little Britain because a block down there's a few British shops down there. I have a tour of that. Check it out. Search Little Britain Urbanist. Right here is a food recommendation. Mighty Quinn's. I really like these guys. They have solid barbecue. It's casual food, so don't expect how it feels eating down south with the Pitmaster, but it is great quality casual food in a chill environment, and they also have pretty good beer. Nice beer options. Mighty Quinn's. Check them out. Barbara says Tea and Sympathy is down there. Yes, one of the many British shops there. Almo says, any celebrities spotted recently? No, I have not seen. I saw an actor earlier today, but I couldn't place my name on him. But he's not a prominent actor. No, I have not seen any prominent celebrities recently. I wish I did. That would be nice. I see them ever so often. Kenya says, we miss your daily lives. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Let me know. Have you missed my daily lives? Or are you like, it's okay, the Ariel's taking a break? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. There's a favorite live streamer of mine by the name of John Campia. Let me know if anyone watches him. He does movie news live, like 5 days a week or 6 days a week. Does it very frequently. And every segment, every news story he covers maybe 6 or 7 of them in every show. He always ends it with saying, and let me know your thoughts. Joe says, I've personally missed you. Rami says, we missed your lives. I thought you got arrested in another country, couldn't tell anyone. I'm not as daring, as adventurous as Bolden Bankrupt or other YouTubers like Harold Boulder, I doubt I will be arrested in Paris or the UK. Have you tried the restaurant Houseman? No? Chrissy, no, I have not. Lorraine says, it's a well-deserved break from live, but I missed you. I thought you, Tim says, I thought you got arrested. I missed the lives, however, I do understand you were going at it for quite a while in Europe. Thank you, DS. Susie says, I won daily New York City lives. Jen says, I like Kay's cruise photos. Yes, available on the Urbanists of the World Facebook group page. Mr. Manica says, you deserve a break every now and then, but please don't leave us again. For so long. Audrey says, we missed you, mate. Wendy says, we missed your tours. Oh, Wendy. Watching in Liverpool, I know you went there. Hey, Paul, yes, of course I went to Liverpool. I kind of miss it. I want to go back to Liverpool. I find Ariel's presentations very arresting, says Morgan. Good pun, Morgan. Robert, nice to see you here. Kirby says, soon there'll be snow here. Not too soon. It's very rare that it snows before December. Even December is very rare it snows. Your highest chance of seeing snow in New York City is January and February. Sometimes March. But to have the highest chance of snow, February is your month. Susie says, a star party. Yes, thank you so much for the stars, ladies and gentlemen. Tony says, how are you, mate? Doing well, mates. Tony says, enjoy the evening walk. A beautiful New York and coffee. Thanks. Yes, I've had a few coffees today. Not this time, though. I don't drink usually coffee after 4 p.m. Morgan says, I just like that song. Keep incessantly posting it. Which first song are you referring to? Need to make your lives more lucrative. Big up your merch. What are you referring to, Almo? First time we saw your channel was a few years back at Rockefeller Center in the aftermath of a snowstorm. Oh, that was amazing, yes. Around what time of year do New Yorkers start wearing winter coats? You know, New York can get suddenly very cold as early as now, October. As I mentioned, snow, very rare in October. It doesn't actually happen. I've never seen snow in October. I think one time it flurried. But winter coats can be as early as October. But generally, winter coats start being used by November. Zia says, do you still drink coffee when you're under the weather? I have no idea. Sometimes, no. Luckily, I am grateful enough to not really come down with a cold too often. Last time I had a cold was almost exactly this time last year, ironically. Sometimes I don't have really the feeling of drinking any coffee when feeling under the weather with a cold or a flu or something like that, allergies. But this time around, I have no idea why. I can't explain it to you. But I've had the insatiable desire to drink all the coffee. Let me know what's happening here. What's happening to me? Veronique says, what's the noise? So, we don't see it anymore, but there were subway grates right by where I was walking. And a cockroach. 2 cockroaches. Oh. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to not step on any cockroaches. A, because you have to care for life on Earth. All life on Earth. Doesn't matter how much of a pest we consider them. but B, also because you can get a bunch of little cockroach eggs underneath your feet. And then you're going back home casually, not noticing at all, and they start massively reproducing, scattering every inch of your apartment until you have a full-on infestation. Watch out, don't do that. Catherine says you're morphing into a new breed. I think that's what's happening. I think I'm undergoing a mutation. Susie says that's a nightmare. Yes, exactly. So that's why care for your fellow living creatures. Don't stomp. Just keep on walking by. Joe says, kill all the roaches. No, Joe. We must care for our living creatures. Cherish them as you would cherish your dog. But, don't invite them home, though. Danessa stepped over a dragonfly. Oh, no. That's so sad. Dragonflies are beautiful creatures. Where's the Men in Black building, says Tim. The Men in Black building that we see in the film, especially the original, is located in downtown Manhattan. I think, yeah. There's two of them. There's one in Soho. I'll make a video of it because people keep asking me this. Stay tuned for a short video on the Men in Black building because there's technically two, and they're both vents for different tunnels. One of them is the vent for the Holland Tunnel, and the other one's a vent for the Lincoln Tunnel. Not the Lincoln, sorry. Battery Tunnel. Battery Tunnel and Holland Tunnel. One is in Financial District, right in front of Battery Park, and the other one is right in front of all the way in the west side of Soho. Audi says, where's Roy and Ron? I'm sure. Where are they? Hey, Neboud. Nice to see you here. Bonsoir, Neboud. Christine says, I cannot wait for decorations to go up. Christmas decorations. Hold on. Don't get too ahead of yourself, Chrissy. First we need Halloween. Then we do Thanksgiving. Only after Thanksgiving, not a day sooner, shall we have Christmas decorations. It is decreed by law. Well, not literally, but it should. When I become president of the United States of America, I will make it into a law. No Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving. Roy, nice to see you here, Roy. All right, let's peer into the windows of other people. Respectfully, though, of course. Oh my God, this house has blinds. Very rare you see a New York City luxury apartment with blinds. Next it says, will you be doing Halloween broadcasts? Yes, I will. Stay tuned. I'll let everyone know what days I'll go live for Halloween. Bella says, this is what I miss, the sarcastic jokes you make. Bella, I'm not sure what show you've been watching, but this has always been a serious show, ever since day one. But I'm glad you missed the show, nonetheless. But seriously, look into it. I'm not sure if you've been seeing some other show. You got me confused with some comedian. But no, here is pure seriousness. Wendy says, what are you wearing to Halloween? Well, I'm not sure. What should be my Halloween costume? Let me know. Morgan says, please tell me you're running for the President of the United States of America. Not right now, in a few decades. I will only consider being President of the United States of America when I have a very long white beard. If I don't look like Gandalf, I will not run. Only until then. Yep, someone's working at their standing desk. DS says I'm dressing up as Bob. That's a good costume, DS. That is a good costume. I dig that. Ambrose says you might have a tough time with your opponents. We'll start questioning your birth with all those European videos you've done. Touche. Cynthia says if you're serious, how about a pirata confesi? Since you're related. I have dressed as a pirate before. So Cynthia is referring to my long pirate ancestor, one of the most famous pirates of the Caribbean. His name is Roberto Cofresi, and yes, I'm literally related to him due to the family tree that has been kept through generations. I've dressed as a pirate once before when I think I was maybe 12. That was the last time I dressed as a pirate. Alma's dressing up as Liz Truss. Ooh, interesting. Let me know what that costume entails. Kami says, I'm just shape-shifting into a raven during Halloween. That's awesome that you've discovered the power of shape-shifting. That is amazing. Do let us know how you did that, Kami. Kirby says, happy to be home, or do you miss Europe? It's been 3 long weeks in New York. I'm not sure how I can last any longer. I miss my dear Europe. I'm not sure if Europe misses me. Rosalba, nice to see you here. It's a beautiful evening in New York. Indeed it is. It is a beautiful evening. Kat says, so exploration runs in your veins. It does. Actually, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yes, quite literally. There's a great little craft beer shop over here, Craft and Carry. Highly recommend it. Roy says, whoops, my messages aren't showing up. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in, Roy, and thank you so much for moderating. Susie says, dress up as a famous European for Halloween. Veronique says, we miss you too. I really like your European vlogs. Oh, I'm glad, Veronique, that you enjoyed the European vlogs. Hey, Joseph, nice to see you here. Roy says, always a pleasure. Yes. Also, check out Roy. Roy on YouTube. His videos of San Francisco. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm selling the very last prints that you can buy online. They'll take on new shape and form in the future. So those photos are not going away forever. But the last ones from 2020 to 2022 are being sold. urbanist.darkroom.com before full merch and print refresh. Bill Scott says, have you ever done a video on Town Hall venue in famous 53rd Street? I've been to Town Hall a few times. No, I've never done a video on Town Hall. but it is interesting. Is there any interesting stories of Town Hall? Let me know. Hey, Sean says at the beginning of the video, you actually were one of the filming spots for David Bowie's I'm Afraid of Americans. I like that. I like that. Ooh, here we have a pasta recommendation, actually. Pasta by Hudson. This is a great pasta shop. Quick, casual food. Great quality pasta. Really brings me back to Italy. Highly recommend it. Pasta by Hudson. I'm not sure why the sign says pasta pizza. On the other side, it says pasta by Hudson. Right here. Pasta by Hudson. That's some outdoor area. I love how bright some of these shops are. And now these shops have some oregano. When you need film content, do you bring an iPhone tripod set up on the street? If not, have you seen anyone do that? I've seen many, countless influencers do that in the streets of New York. It's a very common sight in New York City. Common sight in some other major cities like Paris or London. For me personally, I use my gimbal. I do have a tripod. I use it on occasion. But yeah, generally I just film with my phone. If I'm doing a longer video, I use a camera. But yeah, it's normal to whip out your tripod. I would say just be street smart. Do not get too confident of leaving your phone away from you for too long. Be street smart. This applies to any city around the world. Some cities you could be a little bit less carefree, other cities not as much. Yeah, I am, yeah. You do? Okay, that's... Amazing cookies. Oh, that's good. When you guys open? Is this open right now? I'm gonna see it right now. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah. So right here, a lot of these shops are opening up all around New York City. Apparently they have good cookies. Rush hour. Green Clothing Inc. Love that. You own the shop?
No.
No. Okay. You just work here. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Have a great day, man.
Likewise, brother. Thank you for stopping, bro.
Thank you. Chrissy says, that's why I fear someone snatching your phone. Yeah, the best street smart way of going about it is don't do that in Times Square. You're very, very exposed in a very super popular tourist area that people will be watching you. Because it's just the nature of the location. Of course, this always applies to every city. Remember, no city you're going to be safe from this. Always have to be street smart everywhere, even the most safest cities in the world, like Denmark. I felt very at ease at Denmark. But even in Denmark, you do have to always be street smart. But if you want to be more relaxed and take your photos, have a tripod, go to areas that are a little bit quieter, a little bit more well off. I joked around with the Upper East Side earlier, but Upper East Side is really a casual place. You could go to the West Village, which I just went to. Financial District, especially, is calmer as well. Susie says, yeah, Spider-Man Times Square tried to steal my phone. Yeah, sorry to laugh, but yeah, unfortunately, that is the case, yes. You might encounter that. Hey, Dr. Tachi, nice to see you here. We got Dr. Tachi tuning in. Welcome. H. Flores, welcome. I just got back from London, ran the marathon, and went to Edinburgh. We follow your videos on where to go. Love Edinburgh Castle so much. H. Flores, that's amazing, man. I'm glad you enjoyed Edinburgh. Edinburgh is a lovely city. I would love to live in Edinburgh. That would be a nice place to live for a few months. Tommy. Hello, Tommy. Nice to see you here. Kenya, welcome. Maria from Greece. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Well, we have multiple Marias from Greece. Thank you so much for tuning in. Saludos, Héctor desde México. Bienvenidos, Héctor. Gracias por viendo esta emisión. Espero que todo está bien allá en México. Morgan, thank you so much for the 3 Canadian super chat. Appreciate that. Morgan says coffee. Morgan, thank you so much. I will save that super chat for a future episode where it's during daytime. Don't drink coffee at this hour. Also, it's very rare to find a coffee shop open at this time. Pro tip. The only place you can really find coffees is at fast food places like Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Elevens. Or you can go to a bodega. That's where you can find coffee at this time. Otherwise, there's very few coffee shops are open this late. One of the very few ones is called The Bean, and that's in the village. Your hair looks great, says Dr. Tatri. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Tatri. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Saludos, Adán. Hace mucho tiempo que no haces un vivo de la noche en esta ciudad. Sí, hace tiempo. It's been a long time we haven't done a live video at night in New York City. Oh yes. Wendy says, looking good. Thank you so much, Wendy. Ambrose, nice to see you here. Starbucks, yeah, Bright, thank you so much for mentioning. Starbucks, usually open pretty late as well. So, some Starbucks you can find as late as 11, especially in the major transit hubs. A good portion of them are open until 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So yeah, Starbucks is another good bet for a late night coffee if you're looking for that. Otherwise, just go to any of the deli or bodegas. You'll see them all around the city. They always have coffee late at night. Here's one coffee shop actually open pretty late. I'm actually shocked that this one's open this late. Variety Coffee Roasters. I really like these guys. Wow. I'm shocked they're open late. This is a rare sight. Also, if you like your cold brew, you can always find cold brews now in bodegas and delis all around New York City. So if you go to a place like this, you'll be able to find a good cold brew in a can or in a bottle. I recommend personally La Colombe is my favorite brand of cold brews that you can find at most supermarkets and delis. Brian says, you heard that the MTA is bringing back the Rockaway Beach branch. I've not heard of that. That's interesting, Brian. That is very interesting. I'm so glad that they do. Are you growing a playoff beard? Says this DS Scott. Are you referring to the many American football players that grow a beard during the off season, or are you referring to baseball players? Let me know what you're referring to. I don't watch sports, so I have no clue. Hey, 1961 Retro Mike says, hey Urbanist, always nice to see such a handsome face behind that friendly voice. That coffee shop manifested outside time when I believe there were. Wendy, nice to see you here. Welcome. George, nice to see you here. Catherine says, let's go to a high-end neighborhood and snip through the trash bags. Not that type of content, Catherine. Robert says, hockey is the one that has generally playoff beers. Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to a high-end neighborhood, says Catherine. As I mentioned, you know, it's a bit scary to go to the Upper East Side, especially during the daytime. It's one of the roughest parts of New York. You also do have to watch out in Williamsburg, especially on the Saturday noon is probably the worst time to go to Williamsburg because there are hordes of hipsters and yuppies brunching, and it is very scary. You will see a lot of $22 avocado toasts everywhere, and it's not for the faint of heart to be in that environment. So do watch out. Williamsburg on the Saturday or Sunday, early noon, late morning. One of the roughest areas you can visit in New York. Almost says, let's play some royalty-free jazz. You know, luckily a lot of the jazz bands that play here they don't have like that much published music, so sometimes I could possibly, if I knew the venue, I could possibly just jump into a jazz club. But I do have some jazz music, yes. All right, let's now walk too closely to the gentleman in a luchador mask grabbing random trash bags on the street. That's street smarts for you, ladies and gentlemen. Street smarts, okay? You see a random gentleman in a luchador mask picking up trash bags. Just don't walk close. Just let them continue on. Let them do their business. Take your time, and then you'll be okay. Rebecca says that'll become more common sight closer you get to Penn Station. That is indeed the case, yes. Catherine says you give such good advice. I'm glad. You know, I grew up as a New Yorker, as many as you know, and sometimes I take for granted how, to me, street smarts seems rather obvious, but not to everyone. And it's just merely due to the case of growing up in different areas. Sometimes if you grow up in a rural area or in a suburban area, there's a different set of smarts. Definitely in rural areas, you have to have your wits about you in different ways. But in cities, it's different. And it's good to sometimes point out what may seem obvious to me and isn't obvious to everyone. So this is the Fashion Institute of Technology, FIT. I featured them in my fashion documentary that is available on Rise New York. Check that out. But they also have a museum. I actually got to visit that. Unfortunately, I've tried to get permission to film here, but there's a lot of copyrighted material, especially once you go inside the exhibition. So I've been unable to. But it's a really cool area. Can't wait to actually visit myself just for pleasure. It's a cool school as well. Wow, beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous dresses. Wendy says, cool indeed. Indeed, Wendy, to your indeed. Indeed, indeed. Is this what's called the Fashion District? Says Roy. Yeah, you know, Roy, that's a great question. Technically, yes. This was already called Fashion Avenue. Point the camera, actually, right here. Fashion Avenue. 7th Avenue. This part of 7th Avenue from about 26th Street all the way until about 41st Street is Fashion Avenue. And it's because a lot of the older garment factories, some still survive, were all around here. Most of the garment factories were after 34th. But I assume they called it Fashion Avenue also because of FIT right over here. That's been around, I think, for a few decades. I think since maybe the 70s or 80s. Maybe earlier than that. Susie says it's not what it used to be. Fashion Avenue, yeah, Fashion Avenue had more life. I was not really there to see it. But Fashion Avenue had a lot of life here, especially during the daytime. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s. But all the way even to the 80s, there was a lot of people working here. So you can find great value Puerto Rican food, for example, because a lot of the workers in the 80s in the garment industry were Puerto Rican. There's still like 2 or 3 places you can still find good rice, beans with chicken. Where go in the Washington Heights, says A. Stay tuned. I will be covering Washington Heights on shorts. Maybe more live videos of those areas. But everyone right now, if after this live video, check out my shorts on YouTube. I've been posting short videos, 1-minute videos or less. They're actually getting good traction, which is nice. And there you can see little snippets of these adventures, food recommendations, little tales of history, and other topics like architecture. And there you can see great shorts. Check them out now on YouTube. Also posting to Facebook and Instagram. Instagram, I'm trying to grow.
No. I'm so glad I went. Like, it was
Urbanist Live. Isn't it too cold to be wearing shorts? It's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So no, it's not that cold to not wear shorts. Kami says, what other city would you consider living in the U.S.? Thus far, the only other city I would ever consider living in the U.S. is Boston. That's the only other city. Susie says, what's the best way to get food recommendations to you? Urbanist of the World or a direct message via Instagram? One of those two. I don't respond to all messages, but I do read them. So thank you so much for people who send recommendations and tips and tricks. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Urbanist of the World is a great way to share with not just me, but also the urbanist community. Rose Allbell says, you need to visit Tennessee. Yeah, it'd be cool to go to Memphis, Tennessee. Ashley says, knew you would say Boston. You did such good live streams from there. Yeah, you know, Boston is my second most watched US city on YouTube. I'm getting a lot of views from Boston videos. Those live videos I did in Boston keep getting views. People love them. Ooh, pizza. Ooh. Oh. Ah. Oh my. I'll be in New York City at the end of the month doing some urban sketching. That's awesome, Jason. That's amazing. Susie says, yikes, I haven't had dinner yet. Oh, go for it, Susie. Morgan says, Saturday night at the movies. Saturday night is a good day to go to the movies. No good movies coming out until I'm saving myself. ladies and gentlemen, for a very special movie. Let me know if you know what that movie is. I'm saving myself. Ethan says, Ariel, can you just go back to Europe? Can you go back to Europe anytime? I think I can, yeah. Yeah, technically, yeah, I can. That pizza reminded me that I haven't eaten one yet, says Susie. Yeah. Dr. Tachi got it right. Yes. The movie I'm saving myself for is Wakanda Forever. Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to check it out. Joe says, was it Spider-Man? Spider-Man? No, unfortunately no new Spider-Man movies coming out. I wish another one would come out. It's been too long. I mean, it's only been a few months, but it's been too long. Wendy says, grab some chicken. You know, Sticky Figure Joint is actually pretty good. Sweet Green right next to it is really good. Starbucks, that's Starbucks. This one's actually very nicely decorated. And Smash Burger. You know, I haven't tried Smash Burger. I haven't smashed a good Smash Burger. But I am not hungry. I had a meal that I was excited for, and for some weird reason, it left me feeling very icky. Let me know if that's ever happened to you. Morgan says, no, not Avatar. Oh, Avatar is but still a whiles away. Avatar 2 is coming out in Christmas time. Can't wait for that also. Let's go here in the back, actually. We'll go this way. Show you beautiful Madison Square Garden. Okay, everyone, we're going for our last stop of this tour. I'm going to show you beautiful Madison Square Garden, among one of the most beautiful, wondrous landmarks in all of New York City. A landmark that truly helped the city shape into the beautiful work of art it is today. Look at that. Wow. Madison Square Garden. And the skyscraper that was built for it. Look at that beauty. Oh my God. It's a circle. It has concrete. Okay, nice. Okay. And that's it. Destroyed a gorgeous, one of the most gorgeous pieces of architecture. Old Penn Station used to be right here. Destroyed, demolished, obliterated in order to build Madison Square Garden. So yes, I'm being sarcastic. Madison Square Garden, I do not find it too pleasing. It is rather boring. Susie says inside it's crap. Yeah, it's not the most uniquely designed venue. It could have been designed much better. There are better designed major music venues out there. New York has returned. Yes, indeed, it has returned. I can't wait to see the Oculus. Oculus is, in my opinion, is actually pretty. It's weird, but it's also pretty. I personally love it, but I'm a 70s person, says Susie. It's just such a shame to see what it replaced. Hey, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Says Robert. Robert, it takes 3 steps. You gotta listen closely though, because if you don't, you're never gonna get there. Practice, practice, practice. Yep, that's how you get to Carnegie Hall. Roy knows. Thank you, Roy, for letting Robert know the full steps to get to Carnegie. Susie says it might be replaced with something uglier. I hope not. I hope they really innovate the architecture of the new Penn Station. Robert says I'll keep practicing. I'm glad, Robert, that you'll keep practicing. I think a nice place to end is the Moynihan train hall. Let me show it to you from the outside. Hello, Kahil. Thank you so much for tuning in from Tunisia. That's awesome. Right there, we see the skyscrapers of Hudson Yards. And right down there is the edge. Look at that. Wow. Can you explain how Creek can be the new downtown? I mean, that's all covered in my short video. Actually, I have a full live video that covers it in detail. Check it out. Search Long Island City Urbanist. It's the one I did in May of 2020. I mean, sorry, May of 2022. But in short, Newtown Creek is a waterway that extends from Long Island City all the way into Bushwick, Brooklyn. In my opinion, I think it could be used to revitalize that area and make it into a new downtown that would utilize the waterway, its beauty, its splendor, and also as a key mode of transportation with ferry system. Wendy says, let's do the edge. Ooh, I would love to. Sweetie says, I went through Moynihan the first time this year. I love it. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This was an adventure through Manhattan. We started at 7th Street and Bleecker Street and 7th Avenue, all the way up to 31st Street and 8th Avenue. Right here. We walked basically, the entire length was on 7th Avenue. I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to buy yourself some prints, urbanist.darkroom.com, and or merch that is going to be phased out by October 15th. teespring.com/stores/urbanist. And there you can get access to the merch and to the prints that are being phased out by October 15th. Then we'll have new merch and new prints to be sold. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I'll be back at some schedule sometime soon. Will be announced. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Now I'm gonna go back for some rest. I think I've had enough outside time at this moment. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Bye-bye, everyone.